Hi, Karishma. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well.
Describe yourself in one sentence.
Colorful.
Describe your professional self in a hashtag.
Hashtag conscious.
What is the inspiration for taking fashion design as a career?
Many things actually. I think it's partly my childhood stories and partly just the fact that clothing really shows you where the world is at the moment. So I find clothing to be a real great mix of history, of anthropology, and also of what the future has in store for us.
What is fashion to you?
Fashion to me is being comfortable and wearing things that last.
What is your greatest professional accomplishment?
I think there are many more to come, but as of now, it's definitely about being able to create something from scratch and looking at people wearing it. So seeing people in your creations for me is very exciting and one of my greatest accomplishments.
Who's your style icon?
That's a very difficult question. I think that actually for me in my personal life, my aunt, which is my bua, she always wore the most beautiful hand-woven saris and she carried herself with so much grace. So for me, I think she's my style icon.
One quote from a book or a movie that has motivated you?
I think in Alice in Wonderland they say there's a quote where they're talking to each other and someone says you're entirely bonkers, and the idea is that all the best people are. So for me, that conversation between Alice and the characters in the movie is quite inspiring.
3 things that are non-negotiable to you.
Honesty is non-negotiable to me, quality is non-negotiable, and also just being kind is non-negotiable.
What is your comfort food?
All food is my comfort food, but I would say butter chicken.
What do you enjoy doing outside of work?
A lot of things. I love to study, so I study a lot. I like to read and I love traveling. So I think traveling definitely is my most favorite thing outside of work.
The best life lesson you have learned from your parents.
It's, you got to do it. You either do it happily or sadly, but you got to do what you got to do. So I think that's one of the best life lessons I've learned.
Your mantra to maintain a work-life balance?
I think the best mantra to maintain a work-life balance is ensuring that you don't take all your work home and you don't bring home to work, so you can keep them where they are and still enjoy them thoroughly.
What is your fitness goal?
My fitness goal is to be very healthy till I die.
What do you do for your mental wellness?
I meditate a lot, I read a lot, and I travel a lot. So these are things that really help me stay mentally fit.
One diet rule you try to stick to?
I eat my meals really early, so I try to stick to to not eating too late at night. So for me, that's really important.
One environmental cause you're really concerned about?
I think that textile and clothing is one of the largest polluters in the world, and we're a part of that industry. So it's very important for us to be as less wasteful as we can and be as mindful about what we're making and how we're making it and how we're disposing of what we're making.
What sustainable ethics do you include in your design?
The word sustainable is quite wide and quite deep. I think a lot of times it's not looked at entirely, but we try really hard to maintain like a zero waste policy. That means that all the waste that we're producing at our own studio is put back into product. So for me, that's really important. And I also think the people side of it is, because if your people are happy and if people are making the clothes, if they're happy, then automatically they're making better life decisions too and better life choices. So it's a big circle that keeps going around.
How do we use materials in different ways and not waste it?
For us, like I mentioned already, like we do a lot of upcycling and we try and innovate in how we can upcycle. So we try and find new techniques and new ways forward that we can be less wasteful of how we're making our products.
What is your take on responsible fashion?
I think fashion should be responsible. I think that should just be a given. It should be like an ethic, it should be a law. I think that it's really gathering speed right now, but very often we forget that it's a very Indian concept. So if we just look inwards a little bit more, we realize that we've always been responsible. So we can be more responsible. Having learned from our history, I think we're doing a fab job. We will do a fab job.
What do you think about the current scenario and the sustainability in fashion?
I think that it's a big buzzword right now. And I think that it should just be practiced as a rule, as I've already mentioned before. I think that times are changing, and I feel like slowly a lot more people are becoming more conscious. So I'm very excited to see where this goes.
Which year you launched your label?
2012.
Your brand is influenced by?
India.
Your inspiration behind your designs?
India.
What does K Shah mean?
Karishma Shahani, which is my maiden name.
What is your style statement?
it's always comfortable and it's always something that I can change from morning to night without actually having to change.
What was your first collection?
It was inspired by journeys. It was called Yatra, and it was literally my journey between London, where I studied, and India, where I live.
Which was your first breakthrough project?
I think it was Yatra. I think it was really, it was a very honest collection. It was something that I did out of the pure love of making clothes. So for me, that was definitely my breakthrough project.
One international project that we are really proud of.
So we did something called the International Fashion Showcase in 2017. We were 5 designers who represented India, and it was a really well put together, an exhibit style of a display. And we represented India, and we actually won the best country award for our concept and our products. So I think that was definitely one of my favorite international projects.
What is your most recent project?
We've been working a lot with exploring applique as a technique, and our latest collection also is a take on that. And we're trying to also work and make products which are more India-centric and for the Indian market. So we're really excited to see where that takes us.
Pastel shades or righteous color palette?
I would definitely choose the righteous color palette.
How has your label added value to the fashion industry?
I think it's added value by just being true to our nature and being an honest label. Everyone's labels add a lot of value to the industry, and we're just trying our best to do it in the way that we understand.
How is working in the fashion industry different today than from when you started out?
You know, it's one of the most inclusive industries in the world, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. I feel like it's growing every single day and becoming more inclusive, which is really, really important.
How do you want women to feel when wearing your clothes?
I want them to be happy, comfortable, and confident.
Do you think current global trends disrupting the fashion industry?
I think trends are something that we shouldn't follow blindly anyways, and of course there are lots of trends like fast fashion and overconsumption which do disrupt the industry.
How effectively do you work with others?
I think I work quite effectively with others. I'm a people person, and I love working with my entire team, and I hope they feel the same.
Are fabrics made from recycled fabrics more sustainable?
It depends. That's a big debatable question. I mean, yes, you can recycle to make fabric, but then there's also natural fibers which decompose later. So I think both have their own pros and cons.
Any tips for our viewers for the coming season?
Please shop from indie brands. Please shop from, there's so many lovely designers in the country. Please support them, and I think that would be my biggest tip.
Clothes make the leader. How leaders can use attire to impact followers' perception, like charisma and approval.
I think, of course, it does. I think clothes do make the leader. I think clothes are the first impression, no matter what we say. When you look at someone, you are, first understanding what they are and what they do through the clothing that they're wearing. So I think it definitely is a starting point.
What inspired you to join the Della Leaders Club?
I wanted to be a part of a community that was, so big and that transcends boundaries and also includes people from different fields. So for me, that was really important, and that's why I wanted to join it.
With DLC, how do you intend to inspire people?
I hope through conversation, through dialogue, and through education both ways for me, and for me to be able to share what I know. I think that's how I'd wish to inspire people.
What, according to you, makes DLC a unique organization?
The fact that it has so many people from across different industries coming together and having conversations.
A message that you would like to give to our viewers?
I think it's really important to be true to who you are, and I think stand by something, and that for me is something important I'd like to share.
That's the end of our member story, Karishma. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited for my member story on DLC's channel, so stay tuned to hear more from me.